Hey everyone, Marco Schwartz here. In this video, I wanted to tell you about how to select peer-to-peer lending platforms to add in your portfolio. So I talked a lot about peer-to-peer lending platforms on my website, on all my channels, like this YouTube channel. And I really wanted to give you this process that I use to select my own platforms that I put in the portfolio. So the goal of this video is really to give you this step-by-step process to actually select platforms. It's based on two sets of criteria. The first are objective criteria, and then you have subjective criteria. So let's go over the first one. First, and that's the most important maybe, because in investment, you actually want the most return possible. So I look at the yield. What returns will I actually get by investing my money on this platform? Of course, I don't look for excessive yields. Otherwise, I will find platforms that have yields above 20%. I even see 25 or 30, but it's pretty clear that those platforms are either scams or they actually don't care at all about the investor's money, and you will never see your money back. So I usually look for at least 10%, and I usually go up to 13 or even 14%. That's the range that I'm comfortable at when investing on peer-to-peer lending platforms. So I just eliminate platforms that are not in this range. Below, you take way too much risk to invest on the platform for lower returns. And above, as I said before, probably a scam or low safety for your money. Then, of course, I look at the safety aspect. And the first thing I look at the moment is, does the platform has a license? And by license, I mean an investment brokerage license that a lot of platforms have been getting recently, following the problems in the field in 2018, where there was still a lot of fraud and platforms that were pure fraud and just took away investors' money. That happened to me as well. And the goal with this license is really to transform the whole field into fully regulated platforms that actually have the same license as brokers, for example, as brokers that allow people to invest in the stock market. Here, a platform with a license is basically allowing you to invest in securities that are based on loans, rather than directly investing in those loans or projects like before. And this gives investors a lot more of safety and reliability on those platforms, because they have to fulfill all these regulations and auditing and everything related to the license. So to be honest, recently, except a few platforms that have really attractive yields or other features, I've been investing solely on platforms with a license. So this is my second most important criteria. Then I look at loan originators. So loan originators are basically the companies that put loans on the platform in order to offer it to investors. So those are really where the problems will arise in case of a crisis, for example. So if we look at all the risk that can happen on a peer-to-peer lending platform, there are basically three main risks, right? The first one is on the borrowers. People cannot pay back, and that's covered usually by a buyback guarantee. That's now pretty standard on all platforms, so you get your money back in case they don't pay. You have a risk on the platform, right? So the platform can also go bankrupt or have problems. In that case, the money has to be on a separate account on the platform side. So they should really have the money of investors completely separate from the money of the company. If they don't do that, you have a problem from the start, because they can basically just pick money from investors whenever they want to. So that's basically covers the risk of the platform. And then you have the risk coming from the loan originators, because they're actually responsible for paying back this buyback guarantee in case something goes wrong with the borrowers not paying back. And that's where there was a lot of issues during the COVID crisis, for example, where loan originators just couldn't pay back all those buyback guarantees because all the borrowers were not paying back, basically. So it's very important to spend some time to look at those loan originators as well. Usually a quick look at their financials really ensure that they won't have major problems in the future. And I know personally, if I have done that for some companies that I invested on in terms of loan originators, I would have less problems during the COVID crisis for my investments. So I always now look really closely at those loan originators before selecting a new peer-to-peer lending platform for my portfolio. The last set of objective criteria that I look at is features of the platform. So does the platform has a buyback guarantee on loans? Does the platform has an auto-invest function? Do they have a secondary market? I look at all of those features and just only select platforms that have them all, because it's now pretty standard as well, and now only one platform that have all those features, because that's what I will be using, especially the auto-invest feature, for example, to automatically reinvest money and manage your portfolio automatically on those platforms. So that's really important, and that's part of my criteria to select platforms. Next, I look at more subjective criteria. So this is, for example, reviews or opinions of people. I look at two main sources. The first one is Trustpilot. So, the site, it's where you can directly read reviews of people about companies. And most of the largest peer-to-peer lending platforms are on there. So you can just directly go and read what people think about the platforms. I also read and watch videos about those platforms from investors and bloggers, just like me, and I see what they have to say about the platforms. Just be careful here, because there are some of them that will just do that for money. They don't actually even invest on those platforms themselves, not even in the whole field of peer-to-peer lending. Some even don't even believe in it. But they will just tell you that the platforms are all great just because they want to get some commissions. So make sure to make your own opinion, and of course only listen to people that actually invest on those platforms. Next, I also get some direct opinion about those platforms just by talking to them. So you can do that two ways. You can just go to them via the support and just talk to them about, for example, how to start investing on the platform. And this will give you some opinion about if they are here to actually help you succeed, or if they just don't care really and they just want money from you, but they won't be here to help you in case you have a problem. So only one platform that are really open and that I really, I feel that they actually want me on the platform and that really want me to succeed as well, and are not just there for the money, right? So that's what I want when I reach out to them on their customer support. I also now use this possibility to talk directly via chat to those platforms via platforms like Telegram. So they will just open some Telegram channel and invite investors there. And you can directly talk with the platforms, people, and with other investors as well about the platform. And you can also get a feel from this about if a platform is here to help their users or if they just don't care again. So these were my more subjective criteria. So at the end, I use all of that. So a platform has to pass all my objective criteria to actually be in the list. And I use this set of more subjective criteria to filter out some platforms at the end before I add them to my portfolio. So this is basically my process to select the best peer-to-peer lending platforms that I use to add a new platform and also to put out for my list of the best platforms that are on my site. That's the same process that I shared with you today. So if you want to learn more, I actually put two links just below the video. The first one is a link to my written checklist, which has much more details than what I just said in this video. Also is more organized than what I just said. So if you want to get that, just go over to this link. You can download it for free, and it will really help you to have this checklist whenever you want to decide on a platform that you want to add next to your portfolio. You will also find directly the list on my website of the best platforms if you just want to have a look. But again, as we said in this video, make sure to make your own opinion using, for example, my checklist or your own checklist before actually investing in a new platform. That being said, if you have any questions about the process I gave you in this video or about investing in general, don't hesitate to leave a comment just below the video. And again, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.